What's up, guys, and welcome to another one of my Final Fantasy XIV podcast videos, and let's just jump right into this thing. The first thing I want to talk about on this is going to be a quick one, hopefully, this episode. I don't want it to be too long. It's just like a update briefly of some of the stuff that happened early or late last week during the course of the weekend somewhat, and as of right now, so... let's brief recap on the forums of what's been going on for returning characters and players, whatever you want to refer to it as, people that played 1.0 and that have existing characters. If you're concerned about wanting to change your name, your character's look, your character's race, your character's sex, yeah, I know, you can do the sex as well. Here's a post by Hivener. And it says, I know confirmation has been a long time coming on this one, and we're glad to finally detail how this will work. When you log into a Realm Reborn for the first time with your character, specifically after Phase 4, you will have the ability to redo any aspect of your character, one time only. This includes the ability to change your name. Everyone's getting a second chance at the first impression. So basically, if you ever wanted to change your name because you were kind of unhappy with how you named yourself, or if you picked several different features on your character you weren't happy with or wanted to adjust for the past 2 years or so, however long you've been playing, you're also able to change that, as well as your race and your sex for your character. So people are probably confused about, well, does that mean between Phase 3 and 4? Does that mean at Phase 4 or sometime during Phase 4? No. What they mean is only and only at launch. Okay, so basically, and I'll go to the next post here, which is by Bayonne, just confirming it. He says, when you log in after Phase 4, you'll be able to recustomize your existing character and change your name. So once Phase 4 is finished, once the game launches, whether it's early access or whatever they're going to be planning on doing for standard and collector's edition users, basically after Phase 4, when the launch comes out, regardless of early release or, hard launch, or whatever you call it, that's when you are able to recustomize your pre-existing character, or characters, depending on how many you have. So, hope that clears up. In case anybody's still confused about that sort of thing, just throw me a comment or whatever, something, and I'll get back to you on that one. Next one, we're going into our screenshots. These were released on the Facebook, and I believe they were released on the forums as well from Yoshi P and some other staff members. But right here you can see the Leonesaurus section. In the background, you see in the top left corner, that is the new Market Ward section. So for people that were confused, like, oh my god, where are the Market Wards, man? I can't find the Market Wards. Nothing's marked on the map. Holy shit, man. Like, it's all, they got like money bag signs, so it's very easy to find. Now, it's funny because before A Realm Reborn, where the flag is now, the banner, there used to be like a big gate, like a metal type gate like thing that would be sticking up in the air, which supposedly would come down to block off the wards or some shit like that. I don't know. But essentially they got rid of it and they put this big banner there, and people had a hard time finding the Market Wards in the initial game. And they were called the Hawkers Alley, I think, in Leonesaurus, which is what you're looking at right now. From what I heard, the Market Boards or whatever, which is like the new type of whatchamadoodle that's going around that people are talking about as the new auction house / Market Wards hybrid. Well, basically that's going to be in the same area as the NPC vendors. At least that used to be in the Hawkers Alley of Limsa. So they have this big banner you can see where it's very easy to basically where to tell where to buy and sell stuff. And I'm sure it's going to be marked on the map and everything too. So it's going to be easy for first-time players to find where to buy and sell stuff at the early levels. You can see a Rogadin in the back there, wearing some basic like seafaring gear. Really nice poofy clouds in the background. And of course the main attraction, you can see the weathered axe for a starting marauder in the city of Limsa, wearing her race-specific starting gear, female Lalafell. And on the next one, we can see a beautiful sunset right across from the Culinarians Guild. You can barely see the Culinarians icon in the top right hand corner, but that's essentially the Culinarians Guild, because you can see the tables and the little umbrellas and stuff out there were essentially where they used to be in the first game, and it looks fairly similar. I mean, there's some things that are switched around, obviously, NPCs, models, stuff like that, but you could tell if you've been in the city, if you're from Limsa, you could automatically tell like what that is. It's fairly obvious. So it's familiar, but it's still brand new, if that makes any sense. Okay, so that's that screenshot. Very beautiful looking. Here is showing off, not only is it showing off the map, but a translucent version. Now, we had the translucent map in the end of the original game. It was never there initially. We never had that at first, and they added that later. So it's going to be in A Realm Reborn also. You see this really weird green Habergian that this Lalafell Marauder is wearing. By the way, I'm not sure like what. I think that's a bronze axe or bronze battle axe or something. That's what it looks like. I used to use one of those way back when. Also, she's wearing solarets, and I can't tell if those are like gathering gloves or mitt gauntlets. I don't know. You can also see very barely in the back, to the right of the purple iconed NPC, which is for a fate, by the way. You can see two little mandragoras back there with the yellow Japanese text above their heads. And I'm guessing that's the entrance to Limsa Lominsa. This has to be like right outside of it. And you can see the map like barely. There's like showing the surrounding starting area and a couple little icons in Japanese. Also, if you notice, someone pointed this out elsewhere, and I did not notice this, but if you look at the bottom right hand corner, you'll notice they switched the inventory screen. They're going horizontal, and the your gear selection screen is going the same way, like vertical as always, but it's basically easier and more in accordance with your UI to put it in that spot than instead of stacking them on top of each other. You probably have no idea what I'm talking about, but if you played the game already, or if you've seen some of the videos in alpha or whatnot, or previous beta screenshots that were officially released, you could spot the differences. Everything else looks the same almost. Maybe slight differences, whatnot, here and there, but overall it looks pretty much the same. You can see the Marauder's abilities on the action bar, and a couple new icons, emote icons they look like, on the second bar. Not quite sure what they all are, but I'm sure once we get in the game in Phase 3 we'll figure out soon enough. Alright, so the last Limsa screenshot, you can see the beautiful Adventurers Guild and airship station, which is that big fucking tower right over there. That's where the third floor is essentially where the airship dock is. The middle floor is where the Adventurers Guild is, and the first floor is where the Chocobo stables are, and the elevator leads up to the Admiral's office. So you can see this is the docks, the ferry docks, where if you played the original 14, you know, God help you if you did at launch, basically this is where you started off. If you were from Limsa like I was, this is where you got off from the boat. You came and talked to some assholes right here by the docks. You went inside, and you went on your merry way. So it seems like the docks are in the same position, same location. It looks very much the same, which is nice. It's familiar. The textures on the rocks look very nice still. And the freaking tower looks really, really good. From here, obviously the textures have been downgraded, but it looks really good. Like, I don't know. For some reason, just seeing an overall image of it, it kind of looks... Maybe it's because I had, like, anti-aliasing turned off on my computer. But that looks better than the original one, in my opinion. I don't know. Maybe you have to do, like, a side-by-side comparison. But from a distance, it looks better, lighting-wise and smoothness-wise. But that could have just been the settings I had on my computer at the time. Anyway, overall, the sky looks beautiful. It looks freaking amazing. I mean, this is my home, man. I love Limsa, so this is great seeing Limsa shots. Now, for ul'dah fans, you can see the screenshot of the city of ul'dah, obviously, has not changed much, at least in the main front end of ul'dah. We haven't seen any other sections yet, how much they've changed. That includes the guilds, the upstairs, if there's even an upstairs anymore. You can also see, and you can see what I'm talking about in the bottom right-hand corner, how I was talking about how the inventory was stacked on top of each other. That's what I meant. They're stacked right there. But in the previous screenshot, they're going horizontally, which looks a lot neater and much easier to read in accordance with your UI. Also, the map is a little bit, you can adjust the transparency, by the way. The transparency on the previous one was a little bit harder to see. This one's a little bit clearer. So you can still see the background, and I resized the map, too. The map's not so freaking huge anymore. You can actually see where you're going and still look at the map at the same time, which is really nice. Which you could do before, but this just looks like another small improvement in the right direction overall. Also, before I go on, has anyone else noticed how much more detailed the moon looks now? Like, it used to look like a fucking ping pong ball before. Now it actually has like nice black textures of like craters and stuff. It has a little bit more shading and texturing, and it looks more detailed. So I like that. It's kind of hard to see still, but you can tell from that small glimpse that they have improved it. So that's really nice. And also, this guy on his action bar, if you can't tell already, he is or if you can't, also if you look in the top left-hand corner, he's a thaumaturge, so you can see some of his thaumaturge's starting abilities, since that's where the class's guild is set in ul'dah. The next one you can see right outside the front gates, or on the front steps, I should say, the front stairs of the city of ul'dah, looking out at the ocean. And I think that's Vilebrand, where Limsa is located across the way. I'm not too sure. It seems a little close, but yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Vilebrand, but I could be wrong. You also see like the nice lighthouse on the edge of the coast, nice lighting, bricks and stuff. And the next one is a much more dynamic looking shot. You're on the railroad with the thaumaturge Lalafell. You'll see a little bit more actions on the bar. I think it's the same amount, not sure. You also notice the inventory boxes are going horizontal again in this screenshot, like we were previously mentioning. Also, you can see the train tracks going along the left-hand side throughout like a tunnel or a cave or something, or whatever you want to call that, throughout the canyon. Bunch of cacti and stuff. The coffer and coffin, I think, is down there behind those cacti. And then there's the city of ul'dah, brightly lighted up, or is that how you say it properly? Lighted up? Lighted. Ah. Anyway, you can see a nice lighting of ul'dah, and the sky looks really good. Really, really nice. No complaints there. Good clouds, good stars. Overall, looks really homey, moody. I don't know. Pulling names out of a hat here, but it looks good. I like it. I'm really happy with it. Can't wait to check it all out. Alright, so that's it for the screenshots that they tossed out recently. Now, this is something that Abriel did concerning the Japanese voice cast for 14. Now, I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but here's the scripts that we were talking about in the previous video that was shown at the Nico Nico live event. They had the what the hell's the word? The script shown off with all the voice actors for the Japanese version. They signed all their names on them, and there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, looks like 6 or 7 scripts that are sitting on there on display. So apparently what Abriel was saying in his article was that some people, well, I'll read it here actually. Today, he says, thanks to the keen eyes of Lodestone forum user Reborn, we get a little more insight on who will be voicing other prominent characters in the game. So you see here's Minfilia from the main story quest. She was the character that taught you how to use the Echo, where, you know, other people that knew how to use the Echo, where sort of like the backstory behind it, their history with the people in the city and how they react to people that have the power of the Echo. This is another character that the voice actress, the Japanese voice actress voices. It says, let me see if I can find this paragraph. Okay, well, it starts off by saying Sid, Nan Garland, will be voiced by Rikiya Koyama, a veteran voice actor that lent his vocal cords to Bosch. I don't know. I haven't played Final Fantasy XII, so please forgive me if I'm saying this wrong. I actually have the game sitting right next to me. I borrowed it from my cousin. I've not played it yet, but I do plan on doing it. But if I'm mispronouncing that, please let me know. Bosch from Final Fantasy XII, Rikimaru in Tenchu 4, Taiga Sejimi. Oh my god, It's like 3 in the morning. I'm butchering these names. Taiga Sajima in Yakuza 4, Duke in Tales of Vesperia, and a very large number of characters from anime series like Hideo Kuze and Ghost in the Shell, Standalone Complex, and Logan Wolverine in all the X-Men anime series. He even voiced Master Chief in the Japanese version of Halo 4. Huh, interesting. So you can tell the guy that's playing Sid in 14 has quite the background, so I think the Japanese side of things will be very well taken care of. Now, Minfilia, who's the character who's pictured here. By the way, Sid is up here in case people that haven't played 14 are not aware of who he is. This is the character in Final Fantasy XII they were referring to. The Bosch character. Bosch. Oh my god. I'm sorry, guys. I'm really fucking embarrassing myself here. But anyway, that's Sid Nangarland that he's playing in 14. That's a picture of him. And here's Minfilia down here. So it says Minfilia will have the voice of Miyuki Sawashiro, another well-known actress and singer that voiced Millia Maxwell in Tales of Xillia, Cammy in Street Fighter 4 and Street Fighter Cross Tekken, Ivy in Soul Calibur 5, Momohime in Orobo Muramasa, and many anime characters like Kosuke Kira in Batum, Shion Karanomori, holy crap, tongue twister, in Psycho Pass, and Rin Suzukaze in Majestic Prince, that is currently being aired in Japan. So I apologize if I fucking butchered any of those names. It's like almost 3:30 in the morning, and I'm like trying to say Japanese names with the American tongue here. So I apologize for that. But if anyone's familiar with watching, like if anyone's American or Japanese listening to this that watches like the Japanese version dub of anime and not the English dub, and they love listening to that, and they are aware of these characters, like they're familiar with these voice actors, this is actually really good stuff. I mean, so far you got a really good background and resume for the guy who plays Sid. You got one from Minfilia so far, if we read off, if you're aware of any of those. And even though I haven't watched any of those or barely played any of those games, I'm aware of the Tales of series. I'm aware of the Street Fighter series. Not aware of the other stuff that they mentioned, but it's obviously stuff that people are aware of and that people enjoy. So it's really good that they got some quality voice actors to do some of these characters in the game. Now, it goes on to also say that both actors are star-level ones in the field of Japanese voice acting, and show once again, together with the high-level names that were already revealed, that Square Enix is definitely pulling out all the stops to give the game the AAA treatment it deserves, especially considering that the fans have been waiting its rebirth for almost 3 years. Let's see what else we got going here. While we're still kept in the dark about the cast for the English track, those that love Japanese voice acting will be in for a treat, as players will be able to select the language of voices and subtitles separately in Final Fantasy XIV Realm Reborn. So like I was saying previously just a second ago, if you're American and you dig like the Japanese voiceover instead of the American dub, you can go with that for 14. So if you like sticking with the traditional Japanese voiceovers and English subtitles, you can do that for 14. If you're like me and you like listening to American voice actors doing the Japanese characters, with or without subtitles, you can do that also. You can also choose German or French voice acting if you're into that sort of thing. So yeah, there's a lot of variety. You could mix and match all the different voices and subtitles and stuff like that. So it's really cool. Let's see if I covered everything else in here. This basically just goes on to say who the characters are, which I went over. Here's Minfilia's costume I mentioned on a previous video. This is what it looked like in one of the letters. This is her new, basically, wardrobe that she has in the main story that she's playing. The previous one you can see here is what she wore. You can't see the whole thing, but you can just compare it. It's a standard, like, undershirt for female characters. It was pretty drab and pretty uninspired. This one looks a lot nicer, a little bit more prominent, a little bit more unique towards her character. She has an interesting blade on her belt. So, she's pretty badass looking. I like her Minfilia's look in this game. And hopefully she's utilized more, because if you go back and see some of my cutscene videos that I uploaded, she was barely used in the game. And really, it was a shame, because I thought the Echo storyline was really brilliant. It had a lot of potential, so we'll see what that holds. Okay, so down here, in case anyone's interested, I'm going to have this in the link. You can look through all of the different characters, voice actors that are playing the characters in the game. They already confirmed that Rie Tanaka is doing Kani-san and Garuda, we went over previously. Shinosuke Tachibana is doing Alphanod. Now, it's not Alfino, it's Alphanod, which is what what the real name of that character is, the white-haired Elzine kid that we saw previously. Alphanod's their real name. We'll go over that a little bit more in the... well, whenever we get to it, in the blog section. Yuichi Nakamura is doing Thancred, and Rikia Koyama is Sid. Akio Otsuka is Gaius Van Balsar, who is also the Japanese voice actor of Solid Snake. Yeah. So we're going to have Japanese Solid Snake voice and Gaius in this game, which is pretty awesome. And also... this voice actor, this very same voice actor, also did the voice of, I think it was the main judge in Final Fantasy XII, Judge Galbrinth, I think they call him. The main guy you usually see on the cover and a lot of various other places. Some people have cosplayed him and stuff. Well, basically, he did the Japanese voice acting for that guy. So he's also doing Gaius. And a funny fact is that previously on one of the stage performances that they were doing for 14 back when they first announced Summoner and Arcanist, it was said that when they brought him into the studio for the first time and they showed a picture of the character he was playing, he was joking that was like, huh? I have to voice a judge again? It's like, what's going on here? Like, because apparently the thing is people were saying that Gaius looked like one of the judges from Final Fantasy XII, so he thought he was doing another judge again when he walked in, which is kind of funny, but... pretty fitting, though. I mean, if you're going to pick a guy to be the judge from previous Final Fantasies, go with a guy who's done it before in Japan. So, yeah, pretty all-star cast you got for the Japanese voiceovers. Now, I'm really curious for the English section of how it's going to sound. I'm really kind of, well, I don't want to use skeptical because it's kind of a negative word, but I'm kind of on the fence. Hopefully it's going to be as top tier as the Japanese side of things, but we'll see. We'll see. Alright, so, blog section, center stage, April 29th, 2013. Hey all, Fern Hollis here again after those 2 quick updates yesterday. And he's talking about the previous blog entries that I did from the previous video. So, essentially, the one I'm reading right now came actually maybe a few hours after I finished uploading that last one. So that's when this takes place. Now, getting back to the story. He goes, hello all, Fern Hollis here again after those 2 quick updates yesterday. I was certain that a third would be right on their tails, but nothing came. That is, until just now. Why the delay? Well, my head... Why didn't someone tell me Dr. Kevorkians were more than just Dr. Pepper? Oh, hey, Fern. I'm calling in from, I don't know, some hotel with complimentary internet and a coin-operated sofa. I would have gotten back to you sooner, but the Nico Nico Chikagi 2 after party went a few mojitos longer than I anticipated. How did I get myself into the after party, you ask? Well, let's just say a little project manager charm goes a long way. But that's not why I'm here to talk about. What was I here to talk about? Ah, yes, last weekend's event. The event. Ah, yes, the event. In addition to the obvious highlights, including makeup sessions and Nisoc photo ops, there were actually a lot of exciting stage presentations, many of them revealing juicy tidbits of new information about A Realm Reborn. A new producer letter live, which you can see Yoshi P here with Foxclon doing the Nico Nico event, and they're sitting on center stage in front of... the live stream that's going on in front of their laptops. May 1st is Yoshi P's 40th birthday, so the Final Fantasy XIV staff all pitched in to buy him this elegant boa and sophisticated pair of spectacles. A one-on-one talk session between Yoshi P and Hiroyuki, absolutely dreamy founder of 2chan. Well, it wasn't really one-on-one. If it weren't for the mediator, they would have kept talking right on into the night. In fact, after the show, the 3 men ended up going out for drinks. I can only hope they were gentlemen when deciding which of them can have me. special talk show with 3 of the voice actors appearing in Realm Reborn: Yuichi Nakamura, Shinosuke Tachibana, Rai Tanaka, wow, I can't believe I didn't screw that one up, was also held, during which several in-game screenshots from all new cutscenes were shown on the big screen. So you can see Kane-sana in a Realm Reborn for the first time. You get to see what she looks like in-game, and you see Garuda. Now, I thought that was originally Final Fantasy XIV 1.0 screenshot. So that's actually a Realm Reborn model of Garuda right there. Looks a lot smoother, a little bit lighter on her skin and feathers. And Kane looks about the same, but, you know, obviously you got the new lighting system shooting off her. And that's being voiced by the same character, which I believe is Rai Tanaka, I said previously. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, right here, Rai Tanaka. So she does Kane-sana and Garuda. And here's Alphanod. Previously we thought it was Alfino, which sounds really cool still. But Alphanod is a new character, and that's being also voiced by... yeah, I think it was one of these people up here. I'm not exactly sure. But anyway, there was this guy at the after party who looked exactly like Alphanod. I saw him looking at my way in between hors d'oeuvres. So I winked back, and well, one thing led to another. And hey, how I tell you all about this over lunch tomorrow? What do you say? Project Manager M. Nah, I think I'm good. Fernhales. So, new character right there, which you looked at previously. Alphanod is the proper name. And if we go on to the next vlog section, All's Well. This was recorded May 1st, 2013. Hello all, Fernhales here. It looks like the last update from Project Manager M finally came in. It's a good thing too, because I was beginning to worry a tad after reading about her misadventures with the coin-operated sofa. Hey Fern, since this is the last post covering the Nico Nico Chokagi 2, I suppose I should lay off the stories about my grand adventures with the coin-operated sofa and whatnot, and stick to the show. And what a show it was. It being the project's first time to participate in the event, we were a little worried how well we would be received. Fortunately, the response from the attendees was fantastic, and that to the thousands of kind and uplifting comments from fans all across Japan and around the world. And we left recharged and ready to get back to making the game even better. I'd like to send out a personal thank you to everyone who participated, and here are a few final photos to show my gratitude. The Minion-themed stage wall, one of these things is not like the others, and our lovely booth of cosplayers, one of these things just doesn't belong, and our handsome male staff, rawr, and you. See you all again next year, Project Manager M. Alright, so... you can see if I zoom in for a sec, Yoshi P goofing off with his Yokote cosplay with his little male Makote wig and ears on, and tail. And there's Foxclaw next to him, and I don't know who the other 2 guys are. You can also see Yoshi P chilling out with his little Moogle plushie and the Final Fantasy XIV cosplayers. Alright, so here you can actually see the Minions section. We briefly went over this in the previous video in the Twitter section. You can see the Tonberry, which is the first thing that catches my eye. Little mini baby Tonberry with the little lantern and killer knife in his hand. Looks very, very awesome. Classic Tonberry style. And you see the classic Cactuar as well, which is funny because the Final Fantasy XIV Cactuar is different from the classic style. So it's interesting how they went with the baby Cactuar looking like the classic style of Cactuar in the series, which is really cool. You also see at the bottom 3 Chocobos, which previously I wasn't exactly sure. I thought they were Onion Knight Chocobos, but now if you look at them clear with the better image, they're Grand Company Chocobos. And my guess is that those 3 are exclusive to whatever Grand Company you're from. So if I'm from Limsa, I can get the one at the far left, and that one only. Whereas people from Gridania can get the one with the giant 2 feathers sticking out of the back of its head, which, in my opinion, actually looks the coolest. But Limsa is also really awesome looking with the big giant can opener on its head, so that's awesome. And then, of course, the Olden Grand Company Baby Chocobo is in the middle as well. So I'm guessing those are purchasable Grand Company baby chocobo thingies that you can get from exchanging seals. You also see a baby doe, the little Moogle plushie, the cat, which we had not seen previously, which is really awesome. The buffalo to the left of it, the raptor, which is probably my favorite, next to the Tomberry and Goblin. You can see the 3 mammoths, which now I'm assuming you have the yellow, black, and red, which I previously thought it was blue, but red is obviously Maelstrom, black is obviously the Immortal Flames, and yellow is Order of the Twin Adder, so I'm also guessing that those are exclusive to Grand Companies, the colors. There's a giant inflatable puck baby thing flying over there. A couple more chocobos scattered about. You can see the flan, a little baby flan, salamander, or frog, whichever that amphibious thing is. Gigantode probably, I don't know. I thought it was the F. You can see the Marlboro, the Katesith, little minion, the Behemoth, that brown thing in between the Tomberry and the Chocobos is a mixture of the mole and the Keychern. You also see the Goblin and the airship and the little demon wall tofu brick thingy. And that, oh, and of course, you can't forget the Gubu, but, and the Fungar, and the Dodo, and there's just so many, I keep forgetting more. But awesome stuff. And now on to the final section of the blog, and I'll zoom out. This is They Say It's Your Birthday, May 1st, 2013. And this is Yoshi P's birthday. This was 6 or 7 days ago. I don't know how you factor days, but May 1st, it's May 7th. So, hey all, Fern Hollis back again for a special Ben Time post. It's May 1st, and you all know what that means. May Day, an ancient pagan holiday on which raucous celebrations are held. My God. Thanks, Wikipedia. Happy May Day. Talk to you all again soon. Fern Hollis. Wait, I'm forgetting something, aren't I? Oh, yeah. Walpurgis Night. The German bonfire festival celebrating the canonization of Saint Walpurga. Thanks, Wikipedia. Oh yeah, it's also Yoshi P's birthday. Our fearless producer turned the big 4-0 today, and has been celebrating his birthday week in style. There's a pic taken after the Nico Nico Chikagi 2 event, and you can see Yoshi P being a pimp as usual, with his nice birthday cake, and strangely, it looks like that's something I've seen on the forum somewhere before, of Yoshi P's image drawn on the cake itself. And he looks like he's wearing Garland goggles, but oh man, that guy's crazy. Yoshi P rocking it out. And here is the veritable cornucopia of gifts he received from the community team. So you can see some of the gifts from them. Drawing of Yokote, the mixture of the Makote and Yoshida. And he won't soon forget all the birthday wishes he got from his friends and followers on the beta forums, the Lodestone, and Twitter. He expressed his appreciation last evening in a spur-of-the-moment post. And, I quote, "Hi guys, I'm Ding, level 40. Thanks for the many messages and illustrations. Cry, cry. I will do my best from now on. I love Final Fantasy, and I love guys." Yeah. Yeah. So, I don't... Is that what you... Hi? So, someone had to actually go back in and re-edit Yoshi P's post that he did manually himself in English. And he says, "I love Final Fantasy, and I love you guys. Thank the 12 for edit functionality. Greatest birthday present ever. Happy 40th, Yoshi P. Fern Hollis." Alright, so you can actually go on the Final Fantasy XIV Lodestone forums, and you can find a section that someone started, all wishing Yoshi P a happy birthday. So you can go throughout there, and I know it's, you know, obviously belated, and it's about a week old now, but you can go out there and check out some of the birthday wishes people wished Yoshi P on his birthday, and check on what's going out there and stuff. See what's up on the flip side. Alright, well, Anyway, that's going to bring this episode to a close. It's going to end this shorter episode. I'm going to be covering another one later this week or weekend, depending on how busy I'm going to be and all the crazy stuff I got to deal with. So I'll see you guys then. I hope you enjoyed this episode, found it informative, entertaining, and hope you join me for the next one. Thanks, guys.